I'm Jim Willie.
And I'm Alita Guillen. Tomorrow marks the 3rd anniversary of the Iraq invasion. So tonight, protesters took to the streets in Chicago and around the world in the name of peace. In London, some 15,000 demonstrators marched through the streets protesting the war in Iraq. In Los Angeles, hundreds of military boots were used in a demonstration representing the, quote, human cost of the war in Iraq. And here in Chicago, thousands marched through downtown. CBS 2's Rafael Romo shows us a peaceful protest with plenty of police presence.
It was a parade, a march, and a protest.
Jim and Alita.
All right, thank you, Rafael. With the primary just days away, Cook County Board President John Stroger's supporters are coming out in force and speaking on his behalf. The 76-year-old board president remains hospitalized after suffering a stroke earlier this week. His doctors now say he will have some permanent damage. At a rally today, Stroger supporters tried to assure voters that his mind is still sharp and his fighting spirit is strong. And tomorrow, several community leaders plan to address churchgoers and encourage them to vote Tuesday. Meantime, Stroger's challenger, Forrest Claypool, offered his prayers for the family.
We are saddened by the news of his worsening condition, but we are hopeful that he will get better and that we'll continue to progress, and our thoughts and our prayers are with John Stroger and his family today.
Claypool's campaign replaced negative attack ads with a toned-down spot after learning that Stroger had a stroke.
Mel says he invited all the politicians to the bingo party, and Blagojevich didn't show.
On the Republican side, Jim Oberweis is getting creative in time for Tuesday's primary. Oberweis is suggesting that he, Ron Gidwitz, and Bill Brady draw straws to determine who should stay in the Republican race for governor. His campaign manager says Oberweis would get 10 chances to pull the winning straw. Gidwitz and Brady would each get 1. The winner would face Judy Bartopinka in the Republican primary. And be sure to watch the election coverage as it unfolds Tuesday night right here on CBS 2, beginning at 5.
French students clash with police on the streets of Paris hours after marches end. New protests erupt.
Plus, a look back at the man who put Jackie O fashion on the map and into the closets of American women. Thousands of people turned out today to say goodbye to the former Yugoslavian leader. Slobodan Milosevic was buried under a tree in the backyard of his family's estate. About 20,000 people lined the street to watch his body pass by. Earlier, 80,000 people were at a farewell rally in Belgrade. Milosevic died last week while on trial for war crimes.
He was 92 years old.
A Chicago woman now has a license to love a convicted killer. Tom Nissen is serving life in prison for killing 3 people in Nebraska in 1993. His story was told in the movie Boys Don't Cry. Hilary Swank won an Academy Award for playing one of the victims, a woman living as a man. 32-year-old Justine Murth was just granted a marriage license to marry Nissen. The two have never met. They communicate through letters and phone calls. Well, it is a red alert weekend for the paparazzi.
Did Brad and Angelina take a walk, as in down the aisle?
But first, here's a look at the top 5 stories on CBS2Chicago.com. Rumors are swirling around a small village in Italy that a Hollywood couple is finally going to the chapel. The paparazzi are camped out along the shores of Lake Como, where there are rumors Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie will marry at George Clooney's estate. Earlier in the week, there was a flurry of activity at Clooney's home, and the mayor was even told to get ready for something big. So far, there is no sign of a bride and groom, but camera lenses are ready.
Well, for the media, this is more or less the jackpot. You know, the wedding and the baby. So this is something that paparazzi have been waiting for months.
Town officials are still holding out hope for a Hollywood ending. Maybe the wedding will happen tomorrow. Who knows?
Wouldn't it be funny if they were really in the Chicago area?
That'd be great.
Getting married in Bowen or something. Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah. What's your thing?
Well, they probably are somewhere else. I don't know if they'd be here, but
Here they're all wrapped up because it is chilly out there. Sunny but cold.
I know, it was chilly, especially along the North Shore. It would be great to say, oh, we're in the 50s and sneaking at 60, but no, we're stuck in the 30s after the sprint passes to the south.
And when is spring? Spring is...
I know, the 20th.
Yes, on Monday.
July 1st.
Monday, yeah.
Don't say that, Jim.
We just meant on the calendar, you know. We're trying to... It was last Saturday when we hit 67, right? We saw it. Everyone missed it.
Hey, can we take men's March Madness and just shove them aside just a little bit?
Sure.
The women are playing too, right?
We have to give DePaul a little bit of credit. And they were pretty good tonight. Yeah. Look forward to that. Threesome. Thanks, Megan. Well, you know, making your bed, it can be a hassle.
It can.
It can,
I made
unless...
my bed today.
No?
Maybe they should have offered me $25,000.
That's right. If you had that money, you might just make it very well.
Did your parents always tell you to make up your bed
Yes,
before you went out?
they did. Mm-hmm.
Well, I think the folks in Minnesota listened to their parents because somebody won $25,000.
Can you believe that? Dozens folded, flipped, and tucked sheets today in the World Championship bed making competition. Of course, speed is a factor, but neatness counts here. Points are reduced for wrinkled sheets or crooked bedspread. The winner walked away $25,000 tax-free. You know what? That was a good incentive. I bet if we had that incentive when we were kids, our beds would be immaculate.
Yeah, but did somebody get in the beds and see how it felt, right? Oh, yeah, it feels,
That's another
good.
competition.
That's it for us. I'm Jim Williams.
Have a good night, everyone.
We're signing off for now.
They've seen nearly 200,000 people pass through this entranceway. That's more people than they were expecting to see in their first year of business. That's made the Holy Land more than just an experience. It's made it one of the most successful new attractions in Orlando. And now the park is growing. Park officials have unveiled plans for the Scriptorium, a $9.5 million addition filled with ancient paintings, scrolls, Bibles, and religious documents.
And along with this evangelistic Bible teaching thrust, it also is an exhibit that will trace the evolution of writing, of communication.
Park officials say they hope this addition will help add to the park's growing popularity. And they say this is only the first of bigger and better things to come for the Holy Land.
We are looking for a lot more to bring a lot more of the authentic flavor to the Holy Land.
The Apopka All-Stars continue to get the all-star treatment here at home, and for some of the boys, the first day back at school wasn't filled with books and homework. Instead, it was filled with cheers and fans. Though the series is long since over, the celebrations have only just begun. And for Apopka All-Star Little League players at Piedmont Middle School, the first day back to school was anything but average. In a school ceremony, players and their parents were once again greeted by faithful fans and cheering crowds, all showing their pride for the pint-sized players.
Wow. I can't believe all these people that are here to congratulate us and welcome us home.
And after a long series away from Apopka, team members are overwhelmed by their welcome.
It was a good experience for all of us.
And glad to be back home.
I liked it up there, but now I get to sleep in my own bed, get to take a shower in my own shower. It's just nice.
Now, after all the hard work and dedication, these Little League All-Stars have come home heroes, and they wouldn't have it any other way.
It was awesome. I loved it there. It was like the best thing that really ever happened to me.
And these boys say with all this excitement, it sure has been a tiring 2 weeks for them, but they are loving every minute of it, and there is still much more to come for these hometown heroes. Tonight, the boys will be throwing a ticker tape parade at Universal Studios. That parade goes down Hollywood Boulevard at the theme park and gets kicked off at about 5 o'clock this evening.